William Jacobson joins us right now, clinical professor of law and director of the Securities Law Clinic at Cornell Law School, also the brains behind legalinsurrection.com and the special counsel appointed by the Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein. It'll be Robert Mueller, former FBI director. Let's start with the basics. What is a special counsel and how does it differ from a special prosecutor?
Personally, it really doesn't make much difference because the order under which Mueller is appointed special counsel gives him prosecutorial authority. So whether you call it special counsel or you call it special prosecutor, at this point, to paraphrase Hillary, what difference does it make? He will have the authority to investigate and the authority to prosecute any crimes that he finds, and the scope of what he's investigating under the order is fairly broad. It's anything related to Russian interference in the campaign, including any collusion, or any matters arising out of that. So it's very broad and just, very easily in the wrong hands could be a prosecutor in search of a crime as opposed to a prosecutor prosecuting a crime.
And that is the fear, and we've seen this before, and people are bringing up the Valerie Plame case. But the question, William, talking to William Jacobson, legal insurrection, is to this idea, time and again, Dianne Feinstein, Bernie Sanders, James Clapper, others saying there's no proof of collusion between President Trump and the Russians in trying to manipulate the election. So when you talk about this broad scope, what is the special counsel looking for, and should they have been appointed in the first place?
Well, let's be clear. The alleged collusion, while certainly nobody's in favor of it, may not even be a crime. So let's put that out of the way. So that's the perverse thing about this whole process, is that the allegations used to create this special counsel or prosecutor arise out of what's a political matter. I mean, certainly it would be extremely damaging politically to Trump and anyone involved if there were evidence of collusion, of which there is none as of now. But that would not necessarily be a crime. There's no law that I'm aware of that prevents somebody in a campaign from talking to a foreigner or a foreign government. It may not be a good thing, it may be a bad thing, but it's not necessarily criminal. So one of the amazing things, in my view, about this is that Democrats and the media, by spinning this narrative without evidence of alleged collusion, have taken what's a political matter and now potentially turned it into a criminal investigation, or they have turned it into a criminal investigation. So that is, I think, one of the strange things about it, and that's one of the worrisome things about it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, Robert Mueller is somebody who has a very good reputation. He doesn't have the reputation of a Pat Fitzgerald who prosecuted Scooter Libby for allegedly not disclosing everything in an interview. So in the wrong hands, this special counsel could be a horrible thing.
Do you think Robert Mueller is the wrong hands?
I don't think so. I have no reason to believe that. Everything based on his past would indicate he would be fair in this. But until you get there, you don't know. And so if we see this turning into what I'll call process crimes, which is somebody wasn't completely truthful with us or was evasive, not necessarily perjury, but obstruction of justice. That's what they got Martha Stewart on. They didn't get her on perjury. They didn't get Scooter Libby on perjury. They didn't lie under oath, but they weren't exactly forthcoming, and that was parlayed into a claim of obstruction of justice. So if that's where this ends up, then this would be another example of a special counsel or special prosecutor gone wrong.
Let me play this for you.
Ends up,
go ahead. Okay, let me play this for you, William. This is Congressman Al Green of Texas, quite literally losing his mind on the House floor.
This is your day. I'm speaking to the American people. It is time for you to act. It is time for you to let us know where you stand. I've seen a poll that indicates that a majority now of those who are being polled are for impeachment. And I've seen another poll that says a plurality of those. Whether it's a majority or plurality, let's let the American people weigh in.
Well, I won't get into definitions of majorities and pluralities with Congressman Green, if only because my head will explode. But the impeachment talk, can I ask? I'm not a lawyer. I have no legal training whatsoever, and I know that with this Congress it can't happen, and B, there is no case to make regarding impeachment to send it to trial to the Senate. But are they really thinking that this is going to be a smart, clever way to go?
Right. I mean, impeachment means whatever the House of Representatives decides in a particular case it means, or I should say, high crimes and misdemeanors. So certainly it could be an avenue only because it's so vague, but there are a few things at play here. The first is that the Republicans still control the House, so it's going nowhere there absent some evidence of an actual meaningful crime. And the other thing is that politically, it's unclear, but I think most commentators say that the impeachment trial of Bill Clinton helped Bill Clinton. So I think that if this turned into an actual impeachment proceeding, it could very well motivate Trump supporters. It could disgust people who perhaps are more neutral but see this as a blatant political ploy because they've been screaming for impeachment even before he was elected. They've been screaming that, and they've been planning it, and it's all coming out that way. So I think I don't know how it would help them, but absent some evidence of a meaningful crime on the part of a president, I think it could very well backfire on the Democrats.
William Jacobson, Legal Insurrection, legalinsurrection.com.